Picture this. You've spent months, maybe years studying English. You know your grammar rules, you've watched your TV shows, you've practiced your pronunciation. And then one day you send an important email to a client or you're in a big meeting and something feels off. People are polite, but something in the room shifts. And the worst part? You have no idea what you did wrong. That's what today's episode is all about. Because the mistakes that make people sound unprofessional in English, they're almost never the ones your teacher warned you about. They're sneaky, they're subtle. And a lot of them, I mean a lot, are things that intermediate English speakers do every single day without even realizing it. So if you've ever wondered why your English feels almost right, but something still isn't quite landing the way you want it to, stay with us. This one's for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to Real World English, the podcast where we help you speak English the way it's actually spoken in the real world. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Fred. Great to be here. I feel like today's topic is a little dangerous. Like, are we going to call ourselves out too?
Oh, 100%. I already know I'm guilty of at least 2 of these, maybe 3?
Same, honestly. But I think that's what makes it useful, right? These aren't mistakes that only beginners make. Even fluent advanced speakers slip into these habits. So there's no judgment here, just good, practical awareness.
Exactly. And just so you know, we're going to be moving through 10 mistakes today, but we're not just listing them. We want to give you context, real examples, and the fix. So let's get into it.
All right, mistake number 1. And this one, I catch myself doing this all the time. Overusing filler words like basically and actually. Like basically what I'm trying to say is basically.
Yes, it's so common. And look, these are perfectly normal words. They have real meanings. Basically means, in simple terms, you're getting to the core of something. Actually means in reality, or you're correcting something. But when you use them in every single sentence, they lose their meaning completely.
Right. And in professional settings, like a job interview or a work presentation, it starts to sound like you're not totally confident in what you're saying, like you're hedging,
Hedging, that's a great word, Fred. And actually, that's a useful one for our listeners. To hedge means to avoid being direct, to kind of soften or qualify what you say. And there's a time and place for hedging, but if you're doing it with every sentence, it can make you sound unsure of yourself.
The fix is pretty simple. Just pause before you speak. Give yourself 1 second. You'll be surprised how often you don't need the filler at all.
Okay, mistake number 2, and this one is really specific to writing, like emails and messages. Starting every single sentence with I wanted to follow up. I was thinking. I would like to.
Oh yeah, I never thought about it until someone pointed it out to me, and then I could never unsee it.
Right? It's one of those things. And again, grammatically it's fine, but it can come across as very self-centered, especially in professional emails. It shifts all the focus on you instead of the other person or the shared goal.
So the fix is to reframe. Instead of I wanted to follow up, you say just following up on or wanted to check in about. You drop the subject entirely sometimes. It sounds more natural and more collaborative.
And if you're learning English and you're not sure what to follow up means, it means to check in on something after a previous conversation or email. Like you sent a message last week and nobody replied, so you follow up. You reach out again. Really useful phrase for professional English.
All right, number 3. And this one is a bit of a balancing act. Using sorry too much. Or on the other end, not using it when you should.
This is such a cultural thing as well, isn't it? In some cultures, saying sorry a lot is polite and shows humility. But in a lot of professional English contexts, especially in the UK and the US, over-apologizing can make you seem less confident.
Exactly. Like, sorry, could I just say something? Or, sorry, I might be wrong, but you're apologizing before you've even done anything wrong.
Yes. And it's not that you need to be aggressive. You just want to be assertive. That's the word, assertive. Being assertive means expressing your ideas clearly and confidently without being rude. So instead of, sorry, could I just add something? You say, I'd like to add something here. Or, can I jump in?
Jump in. Yeah, that's a great one. It means to enter a conversation, to add your voice. Very natural in meetings and group discussions.
But then the other side, and this is equally important, is not apologizing when you genuinely should. If you made an error or if something caused someone inconvenience, a real, sincere apology matters. It actually builds trust.
So, less reflexive sorry, more intentional sorry.
Exactly. Write that on a poster.
Number 4, mixing your tone. Like going from very formal to super casual in the same message or conversation.
Ah, yes, the classic, Dear Sir or Madam, hope you're well. Anyway, here's the thing.
Yes, it's jarring. Jarring, great word, by the way. If something is jarring, it means it creates an unpleasant contrast. It feels wrong or out of place, like a sudden loud noise in a quiet room.
And the fix is just being consistent. If you're writing a formal email, keep the whole thing formal. If you're in a casual Slack message with a colleague, it's fine to be relaxed. The mistake is blending them without realizing it.
This is also why reading the room is such an important skill. And actually, reading the room is a great English expression. It means understanding the tone and mood of a situation and adjusting your behavior accordingly.
If you can read the room in English, you're going to sound so much more natural. It's one of those things that really separates intermediate from advanced speakers, I think. Okay, we're halfway through. Mistake number 5 is a grammar one, but it's sneaky. Confusing make and do. This one trips up even pretty advanced learners.
Oh, totally. And honestly, there's no perfect rule. It's more about fixed phrases. Like, you make a decision, but you do research. You make a mistake, but you do your homework.
Right, and the reason it sounds unprofessional when you get it wrong is that these phrases come up a lot in work settings. If you say, I did a mistake instead of I made a mistake, it immediately stands out.
The best advice I can give is to learn these as fixed chunks, not as a rule, but just memorize the common ones. Make a plan, make progress, make an effort. Do a favor, do business, do damage. The more you expose yourself to real English, the more these start to feel automatic.
And expose yourself to, for our listeners, that just means to put yourself in situations where you hear or see English, watching films, listening to podcasts like this one, reading articles. The exposure builds natural intuition over time.
All right, number 6. And this one is a bit nuanced, being too direct or not direct enough depending on the context.
Nuanced, there's another good word. If something is nuanced, it means it has subtle differences. It's not black and white. And this mistake really is nuanced because what counts as too direct varies by culture and situation.
Yeah, in some cultures, being very direct is a sign of respect. It says, I respect your time, here's the point. But in British and American professional English, there's usually a layer of softening. Like, you don't say, your idea won't work. You say, I think there might be some challenges with this approach.
Right. And on the other side, some learners are so indirect that people can't tell what they want, like the email that takes 4 paragraphs to get to the actual question.
Oh, I've sent those emails. The balance is state your main point clearly, but frame it politely. I'd love your input on this instead of tell me what you think. Both are direct, but one is warmer.
Number 7, false friends and literal translations. This one comes up a lot with intermediate learners. A false friend is a word in English that looks or sounds like a word in your language, but means something completely different.
Like embarrassed, which in Spanish looks like embarazada, which actually means pregnant. So someone might say, I'm very embarrassed when they mean I'm pregnant. Very different situations.
Yes, or in French, sensible means sensitive, not sensible in English. So saying she's very sensible in English means she's practical and reasonable, which is the opposite of what a French speaker might intend.
And the literal translation issue is different. That's when you take an expression from your language and translate it word for word into English. And it technically makes sense, but it sounds odd to a native speaker.
The fix here is to build your vocabulary through context. See the word used in a real sentence, not just defined in isolation. That way, your brain builds the right associations.
Okay, number 8, and this one is about vocabulary range. Overusing very and really as intensifiers instead of using stronger, more precise vocabulary.
So instead of very important, you can say crucial or essential. Instead of very big, you can say enormous or significant. These words do more work, they're more specific, and they sound more professional.
And intensifier, just to flag that word, is a grammar term for a word that makes another word stronger. Very, really, extremely, they're all intensifiers. But using the same ones over and over can make your English sound flat or repetitive.
I like to think of it as word variety. The richer your vocabulary, the more precisely you can say what you mean. And precision is a big part of sounding professional.
One easy tip, next time you write very adjective, stop and ask, is there one word that means the same thing? You'll be surprised how often there is.
Number 9, and this one is specifically about written English, ignoring punctuation and capitalization. This might seem small, but it makes a huge difference in how professional you appear.
Huge. Like sending a work email with no capital letters or using ... everywhere or putting no full stops. It's the kind of thing that people notice even if they don't consciously say anything.
It creates what I'd call a lack of polish. If something lacks polish, it means it hasn't been finished or refined. It looks a bit rough around the edges. And in a professional context, that can affect how people perceive you and your attention to detail.
Attention to detail. Yes, employers love that phrase. It means you notice small things, you're careful and thorough, and something as simple as good punctuation signals that quality.
The fix is, before you send any professional message, just do a quick read-through. 10 seconds. It catches most mistakes.
And last one, number 10, this is a subtle one, using I know too casually in conversations, especially when someone is explaining something to you.
Oh, I love this one. Because in some languages or cultures, responding with I know is totally neutral. It's just saying, yes, I understand. But in English, especially in professional settings, it can sometimes sound dismissive.
Yeah, like if a manager is explaining a new process and you keep saying, I know. Even if you're genuinely just signaling understanding, it can land as, you don't need to tell me this, I've already got it.
And land, in that sense, to land, means how something is received or perceived by another person. It landed well means people responded positively. It didn't land means it didn't have the effect you wanted.
The fix is swapping I know for alternatives like right, absolutely, or that makes sense, or even just got it. These signal understanding without the risk of seeming dismissive.
Okay, 10 mistakes done. That went fast.
It really did, and honestly, I feel like I need to go back and audit my emails now.
Same. All right, before we get into our words and phrases segment, just a quick reminder, if you found this episode useful, the best thing you can do is share it with someone who's learning English, or leave us a comment on YouTube. We genuinely read every one.
We do, and we love hearing which of these you're guilty of. No judgment, we're all in it together.
Okay, words and phrases time. So this is our favorite part. We take a few key words and phrases from the episode and just quickly go over them so they really stick. Fred, you want to kick us off?
Sure. Okay, first one. To hedge. Hedge. We use this one talking about over-apologizing. To hedge means to be deliberately vague or indirect, to avoid committing to a clear statement. Like, she hedged when I asked about the deadline. She just said sometime soon. So if someone is hedging, they're being evasive, not giving you a direct answer.
Love it. Okay, next one from me, assertive. To be assertive means to express yourself confidently and clearly without being aggressive. It's that nice middle ground between being a pushover and being rude. Like, he was assertive in the meeting. He shared his opinion clearly, but listened to others too. Very positive quality in professional English.
Great. Number 3, jarring. If something is jarring, it means it feels wrong or uncomfortable because it doesn't fit with what's around it, like a sudden contrast. We used it when talking about mixing formal and casual tone. Switching from dear sir to anyway, here's the thing is jarring. It breaks the professional flow.
Yes, that example still gets me. Okay, to land, as in how something is received. The joke landed well. People laughed. They liked it. My feedback didn't land the way I intended. It came across differently than I meant. This one is super common in everyday spoken English.
One more from me. Nuanced. We use this a few times. Something nuanced has subtle layers. It's not simple or black and white.
Like, the question of how direct to be in English is nuanced. It really depends on the culture and context. If someone calls your argument nuanced, that's actually a compliment. It means you're thinking carefully.
And last one, to follow up. Very practical, this one. To follow up means to return to something, usually a conversation or email, to check on progress or get a response. Like, I sent the proposal 2 days ago and I haven't heard back, so I'm going to follow up today. You'll use this one constantly in professional English.
Perfect. 6 great ones today. All right, that's a wrap on this episode of Real World English.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. We'll see you in the next one. Keep practicing, and remember, every mistake is just evidence that you're actually using the language.
That's the goal. See you next time.